fight. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tea Corner, where we don't sugarcoat the truth, we sip it hot and straight. Okay, let's get straight into it. A Zimbabwean woman was reportedly chased out of a hospital in Ekurhuleni, Gauteng, not by staff, not by security, but by members of Operation Dudula. Now think about that for a second. This wasn't a rally, this wasn't a protest, this was a hospital, a place where people go when they are fighting for their lives. But for some, it's now turned into a battleground over nationality. Operation Dudula members argue that public health services in South Africa are for South Africans and that illegal foreign nationals are draining the already overburdened system. But here's the thing, the issue is way deeper than one woman being chased away. It exposes the cracks in our healthcare system, immigration laws, and most importantly, our leadership. South Africans are being told to coexist while they wait hours to get help at clinics. Others walk in undocumented and get treated, no questions asked. Should we be mad at the foreigners or at the government that allowed this mess to spiral out of control? People are tired, and where there's a vacuum in leadership, groups like Operation Dudula step in to enforce what they believe should be done. But is this the right way, or are we becoming the problem while we are trying to solve it? Let me pause there because I want to bring your voices now. I went straight to X, formerly known as Twitter, where the video surfaced, and as expected, the comment section is on fire. Let's go through what some South Africans had to say. Okay, this one says, how does the Zimbabwean government feel watching this? Does it make them feel small, ashamed, or embarrassed? Or do they still have any part of a moral compass left in them? This is not just about Zimbabweans being targeted and turned away from South African hospitals. It is about a failed system in Zimbabwe that has stripped Zimbabweans of their dignity and forced them to beg for the most basic human right, healthcare. What kind of leadership watches its people get humiliated in foreign hospitals like this and still sleeps well at night? What is the point of being a leader if this does not shame and humiliate your claim to leadership? And then another one says, I support this movement. Zimbabweans have their own country. Why do they behave like international offense? South Africa is not an international orphanage. And then this one says, South Africa is a very hateful country. And then another one says, when we tell these people to come home so we can fix our country, they call us names. Why do they want to force a neighbor to take care of them? South African people are right. They are sick of us. We are cowards who deserve this. And then another one says, what is the process when you go to a public hospital? We had to donate to a lady who went back to Zim after an injury, and we were told she can't be assisted before she pays. She didn't even last 6 months in Zim. She deteriorated quickly and passed away. And then this one says she must go to Zimbabwe or a private hospital. There you have it, Mzansi. But there's one comment that really stood out for me, and the comment is from, it's not even a comment, it's a Facebook post from Speech. I can't pronounce his surname, so I'll write it somewhere here. So he said, yo, I don't know about you, but mna, I'm tired. I'm exhausted by Sunday news headlines of ordinary South Africans raging for scraps of dignity they should never have to beg for, and watching that rage twist into suspicion, blame, and border-bound fury because our government refuses to lead. So lately, I've been following news on Operation Dudula, not just as a spectator, but as someone genuinely trying to understand where this wave of public mobilization is coming from. The truth is, South Africa is not well, not just in the metaphorical sense, in our clinics, on the streets of our townships, and in the hearts of our people. Something is breaking. The emergence of Operation Dudula is not an isolated event. It is not a fringe movement. It is the clearest indicator yet of a citizen pushed to the edge by failing state institutions, absent leaders, and decades of promises that never reached the pavement. Let us be honest. People who rally behind movements like Operation Dudula are not inherently hostile. They are desperate, they are unemployed, they wait hours at a clinic to be told there's no doctor. They watch their mothers collapse in queues for chronic medication. They have stopped asking for better and started taking matters into their own hands. However misguided that may be, the truth is, South Africans have not been angry enough, not at those who have mismanaged healthcare budgets or not at those who have politicized service delivery. That vacuum of anger, the one that should have been directed at the Department of Health, at failed policing, at the lack of immigration reform, has now spilled into the streets in the form of grassroots movements with dangerous momentum. This is what happens when the state becomes silent. Communities don't disappear, they organize, period. Kunini abantu bakhala. What we are seeing isn't merely public frustration, it's policy failure, taking human form. When people feel unseen and unled, they will write their own script. That's what Operation Dudula represents. Not hate, but hunger. Not ideology, but survival. Our public health system, particularly in townships, has become the soft target in this unraveling. In provinces like Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, and parts of the Eastern Cape, stories abound of community members confronting clinic staff, demanding preferential treatment, or forcibly removing individuals they believe shouldn't be there. These are not proud moments, but they are real, and they speak volumes about the anxiety that's boiling beneath the surface. People are not just queuing for pills, they are queuing for dignity. When that dignity feels rationed, suspicion grows. When leadership is absent, resentment becomes policy. When services fail, so does our social cohesion. The real danger lies not in the anger, but in what we allow that anger to become. If government continues to avoid the hard work of implementing clear, fair, and enforceable policies on healthcare access, employment, and immigration, this energy will be redirected into more fractured and volatile forms. Soon, it will not be just healthcare. It will be schools, public transport, food distribution, anything people feel they have to fight for. South Africans are not unreasonable, but they are tired of being told to be patient while living in a survival mode. We need leadership that is visible, vocal, and decisive. Government must stop pretending that outrage is irrational. It must read it for what it is: a desperate cry for structure. If the state does not lead the conversation on access, fairness, and accountability, someone else will, and that someone may not be democratic. We are not at war with each other, but we are at war with the silence. It's time to govern, not with slogans, not with promises, but with action, clarity, and courage. For once, stop politicizing people's struggles and treat them as reality. Operation Dudula is not the cause of our crisis. It is a consequence. And consequences don't disappear, they escalate. Oh, cry my beloved country. That's what he wrote on Facebook. There you have it. The country is divided, the system is broken, and the blame is being thrown in every direction. What do you think? Should hospitals be for citizens only, or is there still a place for Ubuntu in our public services? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and make sure you subscribe. I'll see you on my next upload.